There he is. That's a face of concentration if ever I've seen one, that is.
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh, gotcha.
Hey!
It's like
How
this
are you
shit.
doing?
Yeah, good, thank you, dude. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name then?
I'm Tom.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Where are you?
I'm in Cardiff,
Right.
Wales.
Nice.
And I'm in Birmingham.
Oh, yeah? Who's that then?
Jamie,
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You're in Birmingham, UK?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, great.
I don't think it's that far from you, actually, are you, James?
No, I'm in Longbridge, so other side of town.
Okay.
I could have just come around your house to do this. Would have been easier.
So basically, all we do here is Jamie does a nice little, delicious little intro for you. Bigs you up massively. Not that needs to happen, but still. And then we're going to absolutely bombard you with questions.
Okay.
Don't need to look so nervous. It's fine. We're gentle.
No problem.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special guest of us. Today's guest has a music career spanning over 30 years. He pretty much created his own genre of music. He's sold over 11 million albums worldwide. And now he does the noblest of work and uses his experience to help up-and-coming musicians and the youth. He's the first British Indian artist to hit UK mainstream charts. You'll know him best for his hit single, Boom Shack-A-Lak. These are the Chronicles of Apache Indian.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Big up. Thank you very much. Great to be with you guys.
It's an honour. Thank you so much for taking your time out to come sit with us as well. We do appreciate it. So, first and foremost, though, how has the last year been for you, dude?
Yeah, I mean, like for many, it's been up and down. A lot of sadness with the corona and losing people and people being ill. Businesses, obviously the music business got affected big time. Good side of it, it's nice to spend some time at home. It's not. I recorded a lot of music. I recorded an album. Probably released about 20 songs since in the corona. But just good and bad, really. I mean, it's tough. It's been a tough year.
It's been absolutely mental. So, did you have people affected, that you knew close by the coronavirus or?
Yeah, I mean, some people got sick. I got sick myself. I was in hospital myself.
No.
So, I mean, it was just a big wake-up call for the world, if you like. I mean, a lot of people in India, a few people were lost, close family, friends, some sudden. So, just wow. I mean, where do you go? So trying to all pull together and trying to advise each other. I deal with a lot of young people, like you said, with the academy. So the academy's been shut over the lockdown. So a lot of work over the phone and dealing with mental health, dealing with things going on at home. Yeah. So the work doesn't stop. You have a lockdown, but it actually increases, and you have to use all the technology like we are today to continue the work. Whether it's music or whether it's community or family or friends, the work continues.
Good. Well, I'm so sorry for your loss, man. That's absolutely rubbish. It's like it's a weird, like you say, 50-50, because it was absolutely terrible because obviously people got sick and luck, but then you got to spend more time at home with family and be with people, be with loved ones and stuff. So
yeah,
it's been a terrible time.
So for everyone around the world, all my blessings and prayers. It's kind of brought us together because I'm speaking to a lot more people. That everyone's on the phone or trying to record songs over the airwaves and things. So you have to, you get to value life in the year because we are, the life is really, really moving really quickly. We're always chasing the money. We're always chasing our tails. So kind of the whole world took a step back, if you like. But we need to take 2 steps forward,
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing that's amazing about the music industry during this. So a lot of bands have managed to record albums remotely. We spoke to a vocalist for a band and she recorded all of her vocals in America while her band's over in some European country, and as they managed to put this album together, I was like, that's amazing how people have managed to use technology to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I recorded an album last year. I put out an album in November called What's Not to Love. And, artists from Toronto and America and India, Bombay, Delhi and everything, and London you couldn't even get to. And just to put that all together, I'm proud of the team. But it can be done. You miss the vibe in the studio, but it can be done. And some people say it was my best album. So look at that. Maybe, you got to clear ahead and you can give it more time and it's not in between things. So, yeah. Music is magical like that. So yeah, big up for all the people that kept working, because we missed the gigs, we missed the touring, missed all the festivals. It's been difficult, but I say to artists, if you can, just be constructive, productive, and just get in the studio. And when you get signed to record labels, the first thing to say is, you're in lockdown, go and record your album. That's what's going to change your life. So you can turn a bad situation on its head, but it's been terrible for around the world, especially with things with and in that time we had Black Lives Matter in America. We had a lot of things going on in India with the farmers. A lot of things in the world at the same time. Now look at what's happening with the climate situation around the world. So it seems to be, it doesn't put people in a good space when you try to look at the world and you try to be positive and you try to. So that's why I say the work increases. You have to keep our spirits up. We have to keep the energy up. We have to just work harder. We have to ride the waves. We have to do it together. Otherwise, we have a breakdown from family to community, and then we're stepping backwards.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
It's a great way of looking at it. Beautiful. Yeah. I like that. I'm already getting this wonderful vibe from this. I'm loving this. So take us back, sir. What was the original plan for your life? Young Master Kapoor. Was it always music for you, or did it just sort of happen?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just happened. I mean, everyone knows me. I love music from a very early age. But at school, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And I was good at sports, so I'm loving the Olympics. I was a local team here at Alexander Stadium, where the Commonwealth Games are going to be kept next year. Where I used to go every Tuesday and Thursday, long jump and 1,500 meters. So I've actually got all the trophies. So I was the sports person at school. I wanted to be a sports teacher, English teacher. In that time, I recorded a song, because I love the sound system. I grew up with the whole sound system culture and reggae music and everything. And I recorded a song just for the fun of it, really, just to say, I love music. Let me, like back in the day, you had dub plates, so you can just make one song. And that song changed my life. So sometimes you have one plan for yourself and God has a different plan. So as long as you keep working hard.
Absolutely. I love that, because obviously, at that age though, you never know what you really want to do you? I think it's very rare for someone to be like, this is what I want to do. Because I think there's only so many percentage of people in the world that have done what they said they were going to do from being a child, like nurse or paramedic or police officer, that sort of thing. But it's so rare to find someone that actually says what they're going to be as a child to what they are now.
Absolutely. But all the passions are there. From sport, I've kept myself fit, and sport has made a massive difference to my fitness and health throughout the music business, to be able to tour and move around. I'm teaching now in a college, so I want to be a teacher. I'm teaching basketball and football, and teaching the young people on certain courses in it. So, you still have those passions and dreams inside you, but obviously the music took me on a journey. It was very exciting, and it took me around the world, still is taking me around the world. But wow, 30 years of music business, obviously, even if you had a few years of success, you just still don't know what you're doing maybe when you're 30 or you're 40.
Yeah.
30 years back, you can look back, well, I wasn't a dentist or a doctor or a teacher. This is what I did. And I'm proud of that, because, I took the message and the journey. I took what was personal. Music was very personal. It had the Indian, had the reggae. It was very Birmingham. It was very Handsworth. It was very reflective of how I grew up, because my parents came from India. But when they went to work, they actually dropped me off at the nanny next door, who was Jamaican. So I was in a Jamaican household for 5 years before going to prime, probably 8 hours a day. So listening to, sound, language, culture. So it wasn't just a love of reggae, it was an understanding of a culture, if you like.
Yeah.
Because it's not just being in the studio and want respect and sing a song. I've been to Jamaica, it's about understanding a culture. And that's how I think, I was more successful, if you like, with the music, because I understood the culture, understood the people. There was a closeness, and then an acceptance and a point to prove, if you like. When I went to the tours, that the language and everything was there in your system, whether I was doing music or not. This is how we grew up, and I just put that in a record. And then little did I know, communities are growing up like that, growing like that all over the world. So it had this impact from Birmingham to London to Bradford to up north and around the world, Toronto, New York, back to India. I didn't know that was happening, but it's just a reflection of communities, people growing up different, wanting to be different, wanting to be free through music, wanting to find identity through music. And that's what I did with that kind of first record, if you like. And if you like it and it was so personal, and you like something that was so organic and real, then I carry on doing it. I carry on doing that for 30 years. I'm saying it wasn't manufactured. It wasn't a great thought process. It was just a vibe, a reflection of who I was, where I was. And as I said, people could identify to that. So that was brilliant. It wasn't about starting a new genre, but recent times officially said that we did start that new genre, that Asian urban sound, meaning that if you're Asian, it doesn't have to be bhangra, it doesn't have to be Punjab. You're free to do what you want to be. You're free to hip hop, soul, reggae, and be free through your music.
Absolutely. Did anyone inspire you at all when you were? So you said that you obviously went to the nanny, it was a Jamaican family, but like, did anyone in the music industry around then inspire you to want to progress in the music world, or was it just from being around people like that?
Of course, Birmingham's a great city. So I went to the same school as Steel Pulse, David Hines. So they're a massive influence. Steel Pulse went on to do great things, still are around the world. Musical Youth, past the Dutchie on the left, they still their hands up board. Pato Banton. So I grew up with all that, and then the diversity, and what UB40 stood for. Being one of the biggest bands in the world, but coming from Birmingham, a white-based band. Great friends, great inspiration from all these people around me. But the great sound system culture was the real thing that made the impact in my life, where you could just go, the big sound systems were set up, and straight away put the instrumental on and be behind the mic, and you get a look forward and you say, oh. And if it wasn't for that platform, I don't think I would have ever gone to the studio. So I grew up with that, on the sound systems, and actually bought a van. I used to drive around and say, yeah, get Steve to drive my sound. I ended up taking all the sounds around everywhere, and lifting boxes and going through the right rigmarole of learning the whole culture. And then eventually ended up behind the mic, and we wanted to make a record. So people know it wasn't just an overnight thing. That's probably 10 years in the sound system world to make my own one go play if you want. So, a lot of support.
Was it when you're doing that sound system stuff, was it people going, do you know what, you're good, get in a studio, you're good at this? Was it that, or was it just you're like, I love this, I need to do this, I got to go record it, I love this?
It was a bit of a, it's a bit of everything. There wasn't many Asian people in those reggae dances, blues parties, so I kind of stood out, could be a bit of novelty. I would say I was Indian, I throw a couple of Indian lyrics, and wow, it just kind of stood out. And no one really tells you go in the studio, but a lot of people, a lot of reggae sound systems around the world are linked to a label. So probably every reggae artist you've heard, from Maxi Priest to Tipper Irie to all this, everyone comes from a sound system, and then eventually ends up kind of releasing music. So I was kind of following that pattern, if you like. But yeah, I just had my own inspiration. I was working in a factory at that time, and I thought, I just need to make this record. It took me about 6 months of forcing everyone and begging everyone. Everyone laughs at you, right, at the beginning. You want to make a record, right? But there was just some passion inside me, some drive inside me to make this one record. And ultimately now I know why, because there was a plan, obviously.
Oh, 100%.
There was a bigger plan.
That's amazing. But like you said, the unique thing with your music is, you mixed that reggae and bhangra music, which I love the name of Bhangra Raggamuffin, by the way. It's the greatest name for a genre of music I've ever heard in my life. But where did you get that idea to do this? Was it just something that progressed naturally from your background, or was it like an idea you had?
Yeah, no, it was really naturally from your background. Every day I was at home, there was a Bollywood movie on, or some Hindi music playing from the radio station, because my parents are from Punjab, and there's a radio, there's TV there, and then you step out the door, it's reggae. You put the radio on, it's pop music. So you've got all these influences around you. Growing up with the patois, the Jamaican language, you've got that. Growing up with the Punjabi language, you have that. So really, what do you do when you go into a studio? I'm surely you're going to use all those elements that are in your head. And when I used to be at home and listen to Hindi music from the back, I used to hear a bass line from the park, because we used to live opposite the park from the park. So it's already fused, right? So there's a little bass line. So when I went in the studio, it was just really to capture that moment, just to capture. The first song was called "Movie Over India," because every time I went home, there's a movie on from India, right?
Yeah.
But I did it on the reggae Shankai shade. So if you know reggae, everyone knows the Shankai. And I just had my own style. I'm going to India to make a movie, and I'm meeting Amita Bachchan and Ravi Shankar. So without realizing, I'm hitting people right there, because it's the Bollywood thing was big, and your Indian culture, and you want to do something different. Bit of ik do tin is 1, 2, 3, and ura. It's a bit of comedy, but it was just organic. It was natural. I didn't think about it, and it became like bhangramuffin. It came this. It was just the first person that did anything different. The song went. I released it myself. It wasn't about going to record label. I released it myself in 1989. I made 500 copies of that record, and I gave it out to all the record label. All the little record shops. There was no internet. There was no phone. There was nothing. Little distributor.
Wow.
And literally went to #1 in the Birmingham reggae chart for 6 weeks. And then he went to number one in all the bhangra charts. So that hadn't been done before. The same, someone told me he's number one in all the Asian charts and the reggae charts. And that's how it all started, really. And he just created this big, wow, who's this guy? Is it, you know, now you can see people, you can, you know, on the internet. Then there was no color behind the record. So I love music like that. There's no video. This is who I am. This is where I'm from. Just judge me on the record. So people are saying, is it a black guy? Is it Asian guy? Is it two people? Is it one person? Is someone learned someone's language? They couldn't work it out. So you have to leave those factors for later. So the music definitely did the work. I went to number one of the national reggae charts, Jetstar charts. They signed me for 2 more singles. And the second one was Chuck There. The third one was Don Raja. And 3 of them was number one in the reggae charts, Asian charts, and then around the world. At which point I started getting offers from big record labels. One of them being Island Records, Bob Marley's record label. So.
That's incredible.
But I mean, the contrast of the bhangra and the reggae, it works deliciously well. It's just, I was listening to your album earlier. I listened to Bobber. What an absolute tune that is. I was just proper like, I did my research, like, yeah.
See, you got the beats, you got like the vocals, stuff, it's all there. Rhythm, you know, and you put it together, it's already, it works. So when we went to Jamaica, you know, we actually exchanged a lot of sounds with Sly and Robbie. And they're loving that tabla sound, and then you'll hear it like, you know, in some of the rhythms. So it's great. The music brings us together. It's great to be able to fuse that. It makes a difference in you know, music, in the genre, in the communities, brings people together. I love it, everything that it represents. But yeah, it wasn't a formula. It was just natural, and it fitted together like you see. And you know, look, there's a whole, people are doing it all over the world now. You know, they're playing, they're trying different things, they're mixing genres, and then it represents them, where they come from. So keep it real, guys, everyone. You know, it's not a formula. What is your formula? What is your thing that represents you? You know, what is real for you that you can then take on the journey? And what do you say? What do you represent? And what are those records saying? You know, I wrote songs about some serious issues like arranged marriage and AIDS and caste and things. So there was a message, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's always a community. There's always music brings change. So use that platform. When you go around the world and you sing, what do you say in between record? What do you say in between songs? What's the message? What do you represent? So people are sometimes missing that. So go back to that, because if God gives you the journey to go around the world with your music, it's a platform to say the right things, do the right things, and change people's lives ultimately.
You are a true inspiration, sir.
You really are. But when you released this music originally, what sort of feedback did you get from like the 2 different communities, like the bhangra community and then the reggae community? Was it just like, what are you doing to my music? Or was it like, this is amazing. Why has no one done this before?
I mean, there wasn't much criticism because the songs were doing well. You know, but you challenge it. When I was writing serious, you know, about arranged marriage and stuff like that, people were like, wow, you know, because you're taking on some serious issues, and those songs went into the charts. So anytime you tackle these kind of things, it's always going to stand out. People question things, you raise the subjects again. But you know, a lot of support, really. I mean, a lot of support from, you know, Black, white, Asian people all over the world when I started traveling, Japan, Australia, Africa. So it's definitely struck a chord with people around the world. And you know, it's, as I said, it's not unfamiliar, but when you put it together, it's wow, it becomes new. And it just means so much to hear fresh sounds. And when you go to places, you know, I've been to places in Africa where probably, you know, Indian people wouldn't go, and I'm an Indian artist on stage, and then you bring them in, you know what I mean? Because, you know, again, you're really changing venues, you're changing people's concepts, you're bringing people together, and that's been the greatest thing for me, and that's the biggest thing I've had. And people saying, you know, I was sitting in, you know, I live in a place where, you know, there's not many Asian people, and I was going to watch a movie, and I saw your song on a Hollywood movie. It makes you want to, you know, we can be a part of the world, right? We can be in Hollywood, and we can be in Bollywood, and you know, and it inspires people. You know, my songs have gone 8 Hollywood movies over the years, so we can do it as an Asian artist. We can do it if we work together. We can do it by just being real and authentic, and it means so much. So getting a song like Arranged Marriage into the charts as opposed to Boom Shack-A-Lak, because you're taking bhangra sound with you, you're taking the boom beat. So then it means a lot to India and Punjab. So look how much people have been in touch with that music. And so, you know, I'm sharing my soul, my spirit, my prayers, everything. It couldn't be more personal. So the journey has been personal. All the fans have made it special, and still to this day we're still recording. And you know, as I said, after talking about all those things, you want to actually do something. So how long can you keep singing and talking? So that's why I started the academy and started actually doing what I'm talking about. If you have so much passion to write it down, let's go and do something about it. So I encourage people to do that. If you have a name, go and do something. It's not just about the songs. After a while, it becomes about the action.
God, you're inspirational.
I know, I love it. I just inspired me, man. I'm like, I'm coming. I'm going to go write my own stuff.
I'm not going to sing it though, because no one wants to hear me sing. No. So, as you said, like in '92, you got signed to Island Records, Bob Marley's record label. Absolutely insane. Did they approach you, or was this you sending a demo to them?
Yeah, I mean, I had a manager at the time. He was shopping around. There was a few, the big offers at that time, but London Records, Island Records, a few others. Island just seemed to be the home because of Bob Marley. Bob Marley's my favorite artist of all time, my biggest inspiration. So yeah, I mean, signed to Island Records in 1992. They loved all the work that we had done, the vibe that we had built up, and big respect to them for going with something against the grain. Then it's not ultimately pop music. And they sent me straight to Jamaica. Do you like reggae music? I says, yeah. Oh, we need to know this for sure. So first flight straight to Jamaica, Kingston. Straight to Bob Marley's studios. Bob Marley used to stand there. They used to tell me, and Sly and Robbie sitting in the studio, Tough Gong, and started recording, and changed my life. Changed my life, and great inspiration, great help from Jamaica. Great big respect to Chris Blackwell and all the team at Island Records. Phenomenal, to be a phenomenal experience to work with Bobby Digital, work with all the Bob Marley team, meet all the Marley family, get the blessings before the journey starts, kind of thing, and so. Great experience. Came back and put the album out. Maxi Pieces on the album. Frankie Paul, Robert Livingston, Shaggy, and everyone. And the songs like I talked about, Caste System Arranged, meant so much. Got shortlisted for Mercury Music Prize and Brit Award nomination. So it was definitely received and made a mark in the industry itself. Then it wasn't just an underground thing. Now it's, and the fans do that. That's what I love about that time. There's people going to shops buying records and getting your name up there. So now it's a little bit, it's all different now. The game changed.
Yeah, but you paved the way. You paved the way for the people that followed behind you afterwards. Like you've set the bar. We're like, hey guys, anyone can do this. So come join me. Follow in my footsteps. Yeah,
I mean, you need the record label. You need everything. You need the songs. We also need the blessings from God Himself. So. You can't promise that to someone. So
no.
We help people, but if it's their journey, it's their journey. And as I said, you don't know sometimes until you're way in. So it's been a blessing every day. I try to spread love every day. But yeah, people, you have to work hard. You work hard. Nothing comes easy. They try to tell you about X Factor. They try to tell you about these things. Oh. Nothing comes overnight. Nothing comes easy. Work at your craft. It's not just about singing. All those musicians, all those people behind the scenes, all those producers. You have to up your game. You have to work so hard. All those guys that want to perform. Work on the performance things, work on interview. You've got to do so much now before you can go to a record label. So that's why I'm trying to share that, because if I had to go and do that now, it's difficult. How do kids have the expertise, the money, the skill to make videos, photo shoots, mastering, mixes, studio time? So it's tough for the kids. So there has to be a gap. There has to be a bridging gap. That's what I try to do with my academy. And I think a lot more can be done across the country and across the cities, across the world, if you like. I mean, every radio station really in every city should be playing probably 25% of the music from that city, right?
Yeah.
Gives the kid,
completely agree.
Gives the kid a chance. You know what I mean? So if your city's not playing it, why should somebody else play it? Champion your own city. Play a bit of old and new, but definitely don't leave out your city, because the game changed. So what did we do to counteract the change?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're so passionate about music, what did we do? We've lost Top of the Pops. We've lost some of these programs. Where can you perform on TV? If you're an Asian artist, there's all these Asian channels that you can't perform on any of them. There's not one live slot in this year, 2000. So there's a lot to be done. We've moved on a lot, but there's a lot to be done. So I'm an achiever, and I see a gap there where I've just got, and I do everything I'll volunteer my time for the last 8 years to help young people get on that ladder. And people got signed. I have contacts from Hollywood to Bollywood 30 years. What are you doing with those contacts, people? Share them. And I'll try to help somebody else.
I love that. God,
incredible. Do you think that social media's had like a massive negative impact on it though? Social media now probably doesn't help the music industry whatsoever.
Yeah, social media just came. It came without a law, so it's crippled the music business. So much things have happened in that cyberspace. You probably have, and then they try to make a law. Oh, we should block this, and we should do. But surely you should have a law. You should have worked it out already. before the music business went down, before people had, you can take everything free. We used to earn a lot of money from record sales. Now it's next to nothing.
Yeah.
So why would a musician want, as a product, why would you spend that couple of grand on a record if people are taking it for nothing? It doesn't make any sense business-wise. So it just becomes tougher. But that passion is still there for that artist to want to, it's just the game. So how do you help him? So I just, I'm really, really passionate about the music business. I'm really passionate about the things I said and have said. And I try to put it in action, try to change people's lives. And more people should do that, especially those people who have a name, because that's what music is about. You're spreading a message. Radio is about saying things in the community to upliftment, energy. So now the internet's come, what are people listening to? Where is the head? Who's helping who? Market's become very saturated. How do we find that star? So a lot of questions I have to answer to people, and it's tough. But hey, we have to work with it and make it work somehow. And hopefully we get more and more support. But it shouldn't take all this cyber abuse and pornography and all these things that are going on. And so you may see the effects of that in 10 years' time. So the kids are growing up with a lot of mental health. I mean, if a girl posts a picture, for example, of herself and she doesn't get many likes, she's not feeling good about herself.
Yeah.
So just these little things, and then why am I getting so much like? So this makes a difference to people. So who's dealing with that? It's still all new. So we have to pick up a lot of the pieces. But yeah, the music business changed in a big way. So the world changed, especially over the last year. So we have to change, right?
I
Absolutely.
love you. I just keep motivating me to want to go do stuff. But I suppose we better talk about the song. In 1993, you released Boom Shack-A-Lak, and this song was huge. Like number 5 in the UK charts, music video won awards, used in TVs and movies, like you said. What was it about this song that made it such a hit, do you think?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, at that time, a lot of stuff that came from Jamaica was that 60s kind of reggae thing, right? So, or Carolina. So the whole groove changed. And then you had Tease Me, and then you had Twist and Shout and Compliments. So you had this vibe. And when you have a vibe, everyone jumps on that vibe and does their little thing on it. So my take on that was Boom Shack-A-Lak. The difference with Boom Shack-A-Lak and all those songs was the Boom Shack-A-Lak was an original song. All those were covers. So I got no respect for that. So you're trying to go and write out a new song. So yeah, the inspiration came from all those songs. The sun was shining. It was summer 1993. We did the beat very quickly. We wrote the song very quickly. You can't think of those lyrics too much. They wind your body and your belly. It just came together very, very quickly. And the funny story about it is we actually took it to the record label and they didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't like it. They said, but they said it's very different to your stuff. I mean, actually respect to them because they didn't want to go for the option. I wasn't a pop artist, if you like. The arranged marriage was more of a success, trying to get in the charts. So I thought, you know what, these guys know what they're doing. Let them do what they have to do. And they put it out as a B-side. They put it out as a B-side to a song called AIDS Warning. Great song about AIDS. And they put it on the B-side and actually sent it out to radio vinyl, and Radio 1 span it over, played the B-side, and they put it straight on the A-list. And then the record label rang me. I think you're right. I think we should release this as a single. And because the song had come out on the B-side, I could perform it. So I was actually in India doing a tour in India. And I came back with all this. I performed it in India, 50,000 people, 100,000 people. And they came back and they said, yeah, we want to make a video. We have to do it quickly. So if you look at the video, it's all the footage from India. So it makes it look even bigger. So you got all these crowds from India. And they've got these girls in the studio and they've put it together. So yeah, I mean, it came together. We're very proud of that song. I mean, in the end, of course, they loved it. A lot of success with that song. We went to #1 in a lot of countries around the world. Probably 200 TV commercials, 8 Hollywood movies. When he went on Dumb and Dumber 1 was massive. Jim Carrey, everyone. I mean, when they start me to say, yeah, they wouldn't even say Apache Indian or Boom Shack-A-Lak. They'll say Dumb and Dumber. So that became my name for about 12 months, right? And funny enough, 20 years later, they actually called us back and it's in Dumb and Dumber 2. So, it made a mark of the movie as well. So, I mean, great to be in Hollywood as an Asian artist from Handsworth. Great to be in Bollywood, but Hollywood, inspiring to me. Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, and a few other movies. So yeah, it took me around the world again on a different level. So when you're in the top 10 in the world, so it makes a difference rather than being top 20. It makes a huge difference being top 5 and number 1. So yeah, a lot of people know that song. It's been a lot of compilations. It got a lot of respect when I performed it in Japan, all the reggae sunsplashes and from all the reggae artists. So and it's one of those songs that everyone loves. It's not either bhangra song or reggae. Everyone just loves it. So it crossed over. But it meant so much to us as a the personal journey. Took it all the way to Hollywood. Wow, thank you, God.
It's
brilliant. Hollywood to Bollywood. You know what I mean? So why not? Why not?
Did you expect it to do as well as it did?
Not really. No, absolutely not. It was just a vibe again. We did it quickly. We just don't know with the records. I mean, if they get played, they get played. But it was just my take on it all. As I said, they released it as a B-side. B-side didn't bother me. But hey, as I said, there was a different plan for that record. And what that record actually did was some people only knew me for that record. Oh, Boom Shack-A-Lak. And what it got them was into my world. And when they got into my world, they'd hear more of the serious stuff. So they get a balance. Because music, to me is a reflection of all emotions, whether you're sad, angry, happy. We like to be happy. We like to be conscious. We like to have a say. We like to be political. But yeah, Boom Shack-A-Lak did got me a lot more fans into my world, and it made a difference to the fans that we had because they're on a journey. And look where you took the journey. Look where you took it. So it made them all feel very, very proud too.
This might be a bit of an odd one, but to actually sing reggae, is there a certain way, because you got to have that accent in there as well, haven't you? So
yeah, I mean, there's no way. I mean, I just grew up with the accent. I grew up with the accent. I grew up with the language. So it's not just I said it's not just about saying the odd respect or what. Yeah. You have to be fluent in that language. And so for me I could speak in that language if I was in Jamaica, but people don't look at it as a language. But yet, we grew up with a whole language you have to understand and you have to be able to speak. So literally, I could go to the house and speak in Patois, or then you could be speaking in Punjabi. I'm very proud of my own language. But some people look at that as you're trying to be black or you're trying to do it. They don't understand where you're coming from. I'll answer any question, but I have to reflect on who I am, where I am, just be honest to myself. If my parents moved not to Handsworth in Birmingham, they moved to Paris in France, and I spoke in French, everyone would say, well done. They wouldn't say you're trying to be French, would they? They would say, well done, you can speak French. So it's just one of these things. You always answer the question of who you are, where you come from. But as I said, it's a very personal, simple, really, who I am, journey, and probably couldn't have been any different. So now when people are growing up around, they can identify, actually, it's real. Otherwise, it wouldn't be accepted, and you wouldn't be doing it for so long. It's not a little gimmick thing. It's not just trying to. I grew up with language. I grew up with culture. I grew up. And I want to be a part of this multiculture. I want to be a part of this. It's almost a new culture that we built, and a new religion. Even I go into religion, one God, because even religion divides us. Now it becomes religions we have around us. Music brings us all together. And there's one God, and we live together. We work together. There's one message. So I learned that from Hinduism. My parents from Hindu background. The dreadlocks, even the dreadlocks come from India. The earliest images I ever saw of dreadlocks was a Shiva from India. So it doesn't even just come from Rasta. So if you talk to Rasta, they will tell you that the roots of earliest images came from India. So a lot of the people moved from India back in the day, end of the 18th century. So some of them sadhus with the dreadlocks. So you'll see influences and things in the Rastafari and reggae and Jamaican culture from India and Hinduism.
Wow,
that's not
really cool.
You can actually research that. Like you have curry goat, it's curry, and you have certain words that you pick up. And Rasta means the way of life, the way, a road, Rasta. So there's certain words, and I learned it from Jamaica and from Africa. So if you study all those people out there listening, you can study the influence of reggae, of Hinduism on Rastafari. So there's a depth to it. And I try to put that in my songs. One of my favorite songs is a song called Om Namah Shivaya, where you'll see sadhus and people in Hindu. My favorite song I've ever written. Hindu prayer, reggae. So there's a lot to understand about our culture now, but you have to sometimes trace it back and see the difference of migration, immigration, how it made a difference to languages, diversity, culture, religion, influences still going on today. But remember where it came from. So it's not just simple. And we try to reflect that in music.
They really need to teach it in schools, I think. They need to really teach it in schools.
Pardon?
They need to teach it in schools, I think. They need to teach
more
Black history, Asian history. They need to teach so much more of that in school now.
Yeah, there's more things that link us than divide us, and we need to find those things. That's what my academy is based on, because now the communities are so diverse, people from Eastern Europe, people from everywhere. How do you bring them together? It's music, it's sport. Unless you do that, there's tension on the street, there's more gangs, there's more segregation. Not. So I'm just trying to bring in what we learned back in the day, the youth clubs, the working together, the community. And soon we may lose that. There's a breakdown in the community. You see a lot of knife crime and gun crime on the increase, a lot of drugs issues haven't been dealt with. So other countries have dealt with the weed, the herbs, separated from the coke and the crack and the serious class A drugs. We haven't even gone there. So every little kid on the street's a dealer. If there's a dealer, then he knows something's going to get mixed in something he wants to carry a knife. And someone bigger than him is going to have a gun. So we deal with these kind of things, and the ages are getting younger. So as I said, if you have a voice and you have a name and you have the passion and you think about change, then it's the time to stand up and be counted. Trust me.
So you've written about various topics over your career, from songs like Boom Shack-A-Lak, we just talked, but also serious topics like arranged marriage, like you mentioned earlier. Where do you find the inspiration for these songs, or decide what you want to write about? Is it life experiences, or is it just like, I want to write a song about this. This means a lot to me. I think the world needs to know more about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of all those things. Good question. I mean, my first album was a reflection of all the things I grew up with. They say that your first album is a reflection of your whole life up to then. So yeah, I grew up with arranged marriage, and my brother had arranged marriage. Whatever, I grew up with that. I had a view, I had an opinion. I just wanted to write it down. Sometimes you just write it down. It's not even to share it. You just want to get it off. I've got something to say. I've got something to say. I love writing. I always loved writing at school. Sometimes something that's current with reggae and raggamuffin things. Something just happened now. So you want to sing about it there, and then it's not something that happened a while ago. So arranged marriage is a general subject you can sing anything about, but that reggae thing, you're almost like a news reporter. Something happened on the street last night, and something, so you're addressing current issues. So yeah, I'm very passionate about politics. So we wrote a song about elections with the Academy election crisis. Got a lot of media attention. So things I'm passionate about, sometimes just the space that you're in. Sometimes, I've written an album where you're just not in a good space, and it's come out to be a good album because, things are going on in your life and you want to, get it off your chest. And then you're sharing that with somebody else another day and saying, oh, see, he must have gone through that. So yeah, mixed emotions, reflecting of life. Life itself inspires every song. Could be a sunny day, the day changes, So it could be anything. So it could be a trip abroad. A lot of the second album was more of a reflection of travels around the world. By the time my eyes opened up to India and the poverty, I wrote a song about, I set my own charity there called Apache Indian Foundation. So I wrote a song for them. I wrote a song for the National Association of the Blind, which is still making money for them. So I'm always trying to use these that people won't even know about the work I'm doing around the world, Canada, America, bits and pieces. So yeah, you get it. So the second album was a reflection of the travels. By the time you get to the third album, you want to be a bit more experimental. Let's try and just go crazy. So there's a journey with the album. So people have to allow artists to do that. But to keep current, I've released like 20 songs in just the last year. To keep current and still getting fans and new fans, the whole world change, and retaining old fans. It's great. That's a great position to be in. New fans that probably heard your songs when they were 1 and 2, and now they're 18 and 20, and say, "Wow, I've been listening to you now." And now they're standing in front of me at a gig with their dad and their mum, and so brilliant how it's gone. Cross genres, cross cultures, cross generations. Absolutely great.
It's amazing. Did you ever think that your career would span this long at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I work hard. I really, really work hard. That's why I say to people, don't just it's not about getting there. It's about keeping the momentum going, keep working hard. Doesn't matter what profession you're in. So I work hard all the hours. And some people say I'm a workaholic. I'm not. I've raised a family. I really work hard at my craft. With songs, you can write 10 songs and choose one. And with the music business, you can have 10 calls for offers for gigs, but one comes through. So you have to keep working it. So guys, never give up with your passion. Keep working together. I like to work with people. I like to connect the dots. That's what it's all about. But yeah, I never thought it was going to span so long. But as I said, over the years, I've turned it into the academy. The people that don't know about the academy, I set up my own academy 8 years ago in a college. One day a week, I said, let me just change my whole life around this one day's a tour and come back around the world and upset everybody and come back this day. 8 years later, we've won the National Diversity Award. We've got kids back into jobs, apprenticeships, writing references, just that personal touch. I never applied for any funding. We just did it like Robin Hood, get sponsors and get people to say, listen, can you help us? People have given us things that made a difference in the community. I have AIM Academies now in Holland. So all the places, so the idea was to set it up around the world just to help young people and bring them together. And then this year started off with an honor from the Queen of England. So I don't know whether you guys know that.
Wow.
So honor from the Queen of England, British Empire Medal.
For
the booking. So for it says three things actually. It says for 30 years in the music business, obviously you're waving the British flag when you're going out there, right? People ask you where you're from. It's always been so. Second thing was starting a new genre. Actually said start a new genre in music.
Wow, that's amazing.
And the third thing was the academy. So wow, Queen of England, right? So that award comes straight back to the academy, comes straight back, to grassroots, to inspire more people. So what a journey, and to be blessed at the start of this year in the lockdown. So we're waiting to go to Buckingham Palace, guys. It means a lot. The calls I've had from around the world, what it means around the world as well, starting a new genre, helping young people, and how our kids feel in the academy after that. So it's all about that inspiring and keep achieving and keep giving back and keep growing the team and around you. It's hard. It's tough because, the world's got it like every man for himself. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that.
Massive congratulations, man. That is huge.
Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely huge. Fair play to you. You're an icon, sir.
Big up, man. God bless. Thank you to everybody. Thank you. It's not me alone. There's a team behind me. There's guys out there, and everybody, you guys, everyone, matters. So thank you to everyone. That it's shared by the world, shared by all the fans, and there's more to do yet. Yeah. So big up. It's not just me. Team effort.
I can't be the only one that loves the idea of the Queen sat in like her living room just listening to Boom Shack-A-Lak just dancing. Wind your body. But the main reason I emailed you originally was because of the academy, because like I knew your music and everything, but I was reading about the academy and my respect for you just went straight through the roof. Absolutely incredible work that you do. But what is it exactly you do with the academy for people that don't know?
So what we do with the academy is an open door. We used to do it one day a week. So every Wednesday from 9 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evening, the door would be open. The college actually gets the old fire station in Handsworth, which is attached to the college. So the door would be open for anyone to walk in. I mean, main target was 16 to 23, just like a youth club. No fee, no entry, just come in. You ask for their respect and their manners. And then they come in and, there's a studio facility. You ask them what they want to do, and some of them just want to hang out and just with their friends. Some of them want to have a game of pool. They're off the streets, and that's the first thing. They're off the streets. You've got their attention, and then the musicians want to go in the studio. So you coach them, you mentor them. So as I said, 3 kids have been signed from the academy. 2 of them to American labels, because they've got all these contacts. So just like a boot camp for the musicians. We've done events up and down the country. All my festivals that I did over the years, I've just brought them along with me, and some of them have never left Birmingham. So just a life experience to be out in the community. Then councillors started walking in, the police started walking in. It became a real hub for the community. For the community, and we had even homeless people walking in. So it was just a way to bring everyone together under Apache Indian, under the music, under using my name, and it worked. No pressure for the kids. Whatever they want to do. Some of the mothers would bring their kids and sit there as well, watch the kids, play and dance and sing, while the mothers would sit and speak. So it became, all ages of anyone cross, and everyone just helping each other. And it's just funny because we had lots of visitors and a lot in the radio stations and TVs and everything. It's just funny because people leave and say, wow, this place is special. It's like a temple. It's like everyone's so nice. So we just have this thing that you have to be nice. We don't swear, we don't, curse, we don't, it's just the way you'd want the world to be for that day. No bullying, everyone just get on. And that's what it was. It was like a pleasant, great day for everyone, regardless of whatever you may have gone in your life. And then I had the support from the college. So if you wanted, more help, we work with a lot of charities across the country. And then what the AIM Academy does is that we work with 3 charities. So one is Diabetes UK. One is a local charity helps young people with disabilities, called 2. And the other one is homeless charity for young people, St. Basil's. So I'm saying that here's a model that I set up that doesn't cost any money. It just takes a bit of time. You're using the facilities that you've got already, that we pay as taxpayers, i.e. colleges up and down the country, schools which are empty after 6 o'clock and empty. So I just went with this idea that let me just use what we've got. I'm not asking for anything from anyone. Instead of thinking about what we can have, let's think about what we've got and let's start there. And that's what I did. And then I got people, somebody gives me 3,000 bottles of water every year. Somebody gives me this, somebody bought a pool table, and bang, you've got a model. We've had the Lord, is it John, what's his name? The mayor of Birmingham.
I can't remember his name.
What his name is? Anyway, he came to me, he goes, Apache, how did you do that? Give me that model. How do you do that? Let's do it in other colleges around the city. Getting the kids off the street. And then after doing that for 8 years, which is still doing now, I actually got employed by the college to run courses that are very similar to that. Getting courses called Ignite My Career, just getting kids off the streets. 10-week courses that involves music, sport, whatever it may be, just to get them, out to that little crack, out to that little. So I think that's what's missing in the community. So that's what I want to do. I want to use my name. I want to use, even my experience as a father. Been a father since 18 years old. I've raised 3 children. So every child I treat like my own. So, hundreds of kids have passed through. Some are still there from the first day running the academy. We've got jobs for people. Just treat them, everyone as an individual. Everyone's got skills and everyone's got a place in this world. Help them find it. That's what the academy is about.
Wow.
Just incredible.
Mind is blown. So how did you get over to Holland then? How did you get academies into Holland? Yeah,
because I've been going to Holland for many years, like many other countries. There's certain parts of the world which are special. I've got team, I've got facilities. Holland was one of those places. So we set it up there. We have studios, we advertise it as Academy. We set it up properly, registered it. My team runs it. So I go back and forth. Some of the kids have been from Holland to England and vice versa. It's not rocket science. It's like the old youth clubs. Remember, we used to have exchange programs back in the day.
Yes.
Someone from France or something. It's all stopped because of cuts and this and that. We can make it work somehow. We can make it work somehow. So I've just been doing a little model like that where it works. It doesn't cost anything. In fact, it gives back to the community. It gives back and it actually helps the community. So if we're working with the police, if we're working with all the counsellors, how can that be wrong? We're working with education. We're in a place of education. So yeah, we do festivals. We do open mic on Soho Road. We have 20,000 people. We do the Diwali festival, open mic, different, everyone, different languages, from Denmark to Africa, different French to this. That. I'm thinking, wow. So it doesn't matter about the languages and things. It's just bringing people together. That then when they see each other on the street, they can say hi. And it's as simple as that. So really using all the things, all the passion, but all the things we already had, and bringing it back to make a difference without needing our resources. So politicians need to listen. One day I'll be the prime minister of this country. Who got this?
Yes. Yes.
Got my vote already.
There's things to do. There's things to do, guys.
What I love about that as well is it's not just what you do. It's the way you just sold it. Like we were talking about your music career and you're obviously proud of what you've done, but then we're talking about the academy. You could see it on your face. You're beaming. Your voice is like, this is what I live for. You're so passionate about it. And that is inspirational in itself, just how passionate you are about this.
Thank you. I mean, it's just a journey of the music. Like I said, if you're going to be so passionate about singing about change, when are you going to actually do that? So a lot of people talk about things, but when do you actually, if you're in a position to actually, you don't have to be the Gandhi of the world, but you can try to change your own community. You can try to change someone. And I certainly know that we've, helped people get up the ladder and change their lives and work people every day. It doesn't take much of my time and all of it's been voluntary. I can still do my bits and pieces, but there comes a time where you have to say thank you to the city that gave you so much as well. You know what I mean? And try to give back. And I think if more people had that, and I said more radio stations will play more music, it will make a difference to the cities. It will make, it will give a confidence to the city, make it personal. We don't celebrate music in Birmingham. You can't go anywhere and see pictures of UB40 and Steel Pulse and whoever and the bhangra and the rock. legacy that we've had from where is it? Where do you celebrate all the sports people? Where is it? Where can a kid look up and say, wow, it came from my town. Oh, I wish I could. And so straight away it becomes, so we need to, invest in heritage. We need to bring it up to, we need to inspire a generation. But there's a way through. It's not all doom and gloom. There's a way through. If we work together, there's a way through. Otherwise the kid's left on his own. And you can't blame him when he's roaming around doing the wrong things. Because there's no help, there's no youth clubs, there's no way you can walk in, there's nothing, there's not. So I believe there's an answer. I believe that a lot of people talk about everything else except for the real issues on the streets. Politicians and councillors, all of them have a lot of work to do. Radio have a lot of work to do. TV have a lot of work to do. Sport has a lot of work to do. Why don't we have any Asian footballers in the leagues anyway? People have complained about that.
That's a really good point, actually.
Pardon? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that have been questioned on, and I've seen big leagues with the Asian, and they say, why don't we have that one player? Because he'll be inspiring to many more. But we just can't get one in the league. So then people start talking about racism, they start talking about this, and they think, and then we go around in circles. But someone give somebody a chance, because it makes a difference to a generation. Doesn't Apache Indian being in the charts made a difference to a lot of kids to say, yeah, you could do that. Of course, look, you take your language, you take your thing, you'd be really good. Look, he took it to Hollywood, he's taking it to the Queen. So of course that's going to be inspiring. So, we need people in the right positions to make some different decisions on how the world changed. But too much of these false leaders, maybe a leader needs to come from the streets. Everyone's too scared to say things. Everyone's politically correct. Everybody, even the school teachers, that they don't want to say this and they can't say this. So we really need to have a look. And I believe in supporting your own country. We need to support England more. I mean, we support the young footballers. Every footballer in every league is from a different country. There should be a balance. Whoever's got the most money is winning the league, right? Because they can buy all the expensive players. To be in the England team, you have to be English, you have to be from England. But the manager can be from Germany. Isn't that a part of the team?
Yeah, that makes. Yes, I've never thought about that at all.
So we need to relook at a lot of things. We need to support our own country. Look what's happening in the lockdown. When you support, I'd even go to the farmers and think there should be a policy to support your own country. Watch that grow. Watch the communities grow. Watch everything grow. It seems to be more corporate, rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. A lot of people are below the poverty line. A lot of jobs have been lost. A lot of now businessmen, the people who had businesses, are feeling that there's no real help. The Corona thing has been a grey area really for politicians. They didn't really know what they were doing.
Nope.
So we became the guinea pigs. Still to this day, should we take this and should we take that? And we shouldn't take the vaccine, and it was wrong, and it was, I'm now getting asked, which injection did you have? And people, you can't come here because of that. So it's all gone wrong. It's affected the world. So we really, if you're not taking a stop now to think about things and how you can make a difference, or I don't know, do we just carry on? Or do we actually stand forward and someone say something different, someone say something inspiring? And so, I just believe I'm never going to be comfortable. I think that people get too comfortable. There's things to do. And sometimes the answer is right there in front of you. And it's not a dollar amount always. It's about working together to find solutions.
Absolutely. And I think this is a lot when Boris Johnson spends £100,000 on art for number 10. Like, what the hell is that all about?
Yeah, and there's another thing right now that was on about the last Prime Minister made £10 million in some deal. Right? And no one's going to be questioned about these things. They've moved on, but in between, they can say we made a mistake, but we have to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
So we've been through recessions because of mistakes. They can't have a war and say, oh, it was a mistake, we shouldn't have, we should have. They've still got jobs. People got left without homes, without families, broken down, everything lost. So who's almost supposed to, when you make a mistake, you're supposed to compensate people, right? Did people get any money back? Did people say, for that mistake, I got my home back? No, they're left for. So there's a lot that we don't speak about. We speak about all the good things. There's a lot that's going on that's happened where people are suffering. They don't have the voice anymore because they don't have the support. Unity is strength. And without the unity, there's no strength. Everyone just suffering in silence.
And I think people would have a lot more respect for these people if they turn around and went, we messed up.
Yeah.
Let's work together. Let's fix it. I'm sorry.
So you can't be in those big positions and then, we can lose your job. That doesn't help the situation. It doesn't solve the situation if you resign. So, lots of politics going on all over the place, and it doesn't help the local person on the street. So the world is changing. There's a lot more things to be done. No one's hitting the button. No one's touching the core thing. So we're doing that with young people. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about anxiety. We're talking about lack of jobs, lack of homes. We're talking about the drugs issues, the knife crime, the gun crime. People only talk about those issues when they're in the news, right, or in the paper. Those issues going on all the time.
Yeah,
it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. Those things go on all the time. Maybe not reported, but there's a lot of things that young people that shouldn't have been on serious drugs, that they've gone down that route because doors have been closed everywhere they turn. Domestic problems, financial problems. So sometimes there's no way out. We've had lots of suicide. We've had lots of problems over the years with young men as well. So I encourage young men to speak. So there's so much. My course that I teach is about everything. The 10-week course, guys, get on my course. It's called Ignite My Career. 19 to 23, I'll pay for you to come there or look after your meals. I will change your life in 10 weeks. Some music, some sport. You write your CV. We'll make it. Let's use use all this help for you to change your life around. Just need 10 weeks. I promise you, I do it personally. So those are the kind of things that we do, using the college, using the education system, using my name, using the facilities, and changing your life around. Because then your life will be changed around, and many more to change the communities. Otherwise, where are we going to be in 10, 15 years' time? Where do you think?
The divide.
Are we going the right direction, or are we going backwards? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
All I know from this is next time we have to vote, I'm just getting my pen, I'm drawing an extra box at the bottom, I'm just writing Apache Indian and ticking that one instead.
That's right. You see, even with Brexit, everyone is told to vote for Brexit, and they didn't know what Brexit was. No one found out about Brexit till 3 years in, when actually Brexit was happening, right? So how could you vote for it? Shouldn't you have said it's coming up in 3 years' time? Let's educate this country. Let's put it in the curriculum. Let's just tell everyone what this means. That's why it's all divided, because we have to be told what we're voting, but we have to be informed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't think they even knew.
So no one knew. So politicians never knew. So what we're voting for? Why do we make such a big bother? Now it's a problem in Europe. I go to Europe a lot now. God knows. So maybe that's another mistake. But can't rectify that one too quickly.
No.
And now HS2, they keep talking about stopping HS2, and it was out by another £100 million or whatever. So who's making money? So they're thinking of let's not carry on with it. So this affecting lives, this affecting everything. So anyway, I can go on and on. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this. Music, it reflects life. So everything I talk about is relevant to the music. So guys, if you feel passionate about something, sing about it. It goes to more people. If you're on stage, talk about it. Don't just make it about about yourself or just being popular or famous. You're there, you have a name, you have a platform, use it, make a difference. And I certainly will challenge, anything that I feel passionate about, whether it's a small issue, whether it's a national, international issue, I always talk about it. Gone are the days where you have to sit on the fence. Gone are the days of being politically correct. Say what you got to say. You only have one life to live. The world is changing. It's changed already. What are you waiting for? So I'll certainly use my name to inspire, be inspired, change people's lives. My life's been changed through all the work that I've done with other people. Continue to be educated, continue to be inspired, continue to give back, continue to make music. And God has continued to take me around the world. So a lot more to do. So you haven't heard this last, I haven't retired yet. Yeah, so you haven't heard the last of me yet. So lots more coming.
Good.
But definitely music is a movement for change. And all these platforms, so thank you very much, guys, for your time. You know what I mean? Because it's important. What do you want me to say? I can't just come and say, thank you very much, and music is great. I'm going to say something inspiring. I want someone to listen to this and be inspired, someone to listen to this and get in touch. If you're a young person out there in whatever country you're in, get in touch. AIM Academy, AIM Music Academy, Instagram. I will help you. I know I can help you. Just have to reach out. We've just done a collaboration with a girl from the streets of Bombay. She got in touch with us in the academy. Can you help me? I got her in the studio in Bombay, sent her a beat from London. She sent it over. I put my own voice on it, and we just released it. You know what that means to that girl?
Incredible.
That just
MC Lit. Have a look on my Instagram now. Her life's just changed. I haven't even met her, but 2 moves, 2 contacts, boom, boom, boom. And she's only 23, 24 from the streets. And it's changed her life, giving her inspiration. The song that she sang was about changes, called Badlav, changes. How can I change from the position I'm in? And how, no one's helping me. Your name is no use to me unless you're helping me. So kids are crying out for a voice, they're crying out for a platform. I certainly will help them. So if you're a young person out there, get in touch. And if you're a musician out there, get in touch. Apache Indian HQ, Instagram, you get in touch. If we can't help you, somebody in my team can help you. And together we grow. And that becomes then a movement. So music movement for change. Is you come with your manners, you come with your respect, and we go far. Live and direct.
Oh, dude.
You, sir, are just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being.
I can see why he won so many Lifetime Achievement Awards now.
I feel like we've barely touched on the surface of your career during this, but you know, I see on your Instagram you have like new songs with just your own collaborations stuff coming out all the time. Are there any like that you're particularly proud of that you really want people to go like seek out and listen to? Is there anything, projects you've been working on recently you want people to definitely go listen to?
Yeah, that's a good question. I released a lot of stuff over the lockdown. There's an album that I put out last year in November called What's Not to Love. A bit of the bhangra, a bit of the ragga, a bit of everything. I had time to do it. Some Hindi, some rappers from Toronto, some London, UK. But I mean, people actually said it was a masterpiece. It was one of my best albums, if not compared it to my first album. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the way it was. I love that album. I absolutely love that album. Please, guys, listen to that album. And then I set up my own record label over the lockdown called Karma Sound. Karma Sound, I have my own sound system, Karma Sound. Straight away, I did a big collaboration with Yami Bolo, big legendary reggae artist from Kingston, Jamaica. A song called, how many songs I remember. No, Mash It Up. And all the things that are going on around the world, it was like, it's a beautiful world, please don't mash it up. So big up Yami Bolo, listen to that song. It was all about songs. We couldn't make much video, so we just went back. It seemed to just going back to making songs and putting them out. And, without, big campaigns, just get the songs out and just reflect. And there was a lot of things going on around the world. So we said, no, mash up the world. And it addresses a lot of things from gun to crime to international things. And then I did a song with Tipper Irie. Oh, can you see me, guys?
Oh, yeah, there you are.
Yeah. So, song with Tipper Irie called Hot Stuff. Tipper Irie is a legend from London, Saxon sound, so I sent him a song. He voiced it. Great song. Look out for that. But support the song, support the movement, the label. The label opened up, as I said, I released a song with MC Lit from Bombay, so it's another platform that can offer everyone. I've just released 2 songs just Friday gone. One of the London artists called Paul Fox, and one with a DJ, so reggae, and then a bhangra song with a DJ APS from Toronto. So I'm having fun with the music. There's lots of little messages in there. I'm just going for, as I said, there's no gigs, so we just record. I encourage everyone to keep recording music. We're still spending a lot of time with the Academy. UK's opened up now, so we're going to try to get the Academy back open and try to get the ball rolling with the music and touring, because, spreading that word across the world was where I left it. Setting up academies. Next one is going to be in India. Next one is going to be in Philadelphia, where I spent a lot of time. So look out for that coming to your city. Look out for tours. Look out for music. And as I said, reach out. I learned in the music business from very early. If you don't ask the question, you won't get an answer. So, I had Maxi Priest on my first album singing in Punjabi, and that was in 1992. If I didn't ask him, Maxi, would you do it? I would never know. So ask the question, Apache, would you love to, would you jump on this track? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Radio DJs have a big responsibility. Try to represent, your community. You could try to big up someone from your city, you know what I mean? There's so much to do. Otherwise, everything becomes just the same. Every DJ is the same. Every radio is the same. Everything the same. Make it personal. What do you have to say and share with the world? You know what I mean? So I have a lot of things to say on the music. Listen out for the music. There's a lot of things in the music. Sometimes people listen to Arranged Marriage and have told me 10 years later, I'll be listening to it, I've been enjoying it, but now I know what it means. So there's hidden lines here and there. And I feel the same. Sometimes listen to Bob Marley and listen to it 10 years later, there's a different perspective on what he was trying to say. So my music has those clever little, in-depth little messages. So listen out for a song called Om Namah Shivaya, very, very special song. And now what I'm doing around the world, I've been offered not just to do gigs, but to do speeches and to do seminars because of the British Empire Medal and what it represents and how we can help communities maybe in Toronto, Vancouver. We're just about to go to Canada So where it starts off with me speaking for an hour, then questions and answers for an hour, and then maybe a gig to end the day. At the end of the day, we're talking to the community, how we can inspire each other, how we can learn from them and bring it back here, and how we can take ideas there. So I'm all about that, and using the platform like I am today. So all those guys out there, use your platform wisely. Otherwise, you wasted the time. You wasted your time. You wasted your moment.
I love it so much. Before we let you go, Tom, have you got any more questions, my friend?
I just want to say, Apache, thank you so much for it's been an absolute honor, a pleasure. You are a true inspiration, a true icon. Just keep going, sir. Keep going. Keep spreading the message, because it's I bow to you, sir. I bow to you.
God bless you, man.
Just absolutely, mate. This has been so inspirational, and anyone listening, take the man up on his offer.
Yes, absolutely.
What's stopping you? Apache, before we let you go, have you got any plugs, social medias, websites, anything you want people to go check out?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is Apache Indian HQ. It is the HQ. We'll take you to, my academy, AIM Music Academy. Guys, get in touch. I have my own online shop, Apache Style, if you wanted to have any merchandise. But look out just for the page. Look out for Apache Indian HQ. And that will direct you around what we're doing, how we're trying to make a difference here and around the world, and the work we're doing in Africa as well. So big respect to everyone listening around the world. When this comes out, I know that I'm definitely going to make sure everyone locks in, tunes in, and spreads the vibes. Because from what I'm saying, from what you guys are doing, that's already unity. And I want to see that, and people spread it and it goes further, and hopefully it inspires whoever's listening to this. So God bless you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for all the people watching, listening, haven't switched off yet. Get in touch. The movement is running. The music movement is running. Real change is coming. Real change. So stand up and be counted, guys. God bless you, man.
I love that. Thank you so much, though.
Thank you, Apache.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Respect.
Have a great evening, sir. Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.